Hey guys, it's Jennifer from Breakthrough Maths and welcome to this video on how to analyse trend graphs. Here we're told the students in a class recorded how many messages they sent using different forms of messaging: text, email, IM, Twitter, and that was all over 4 months. So diagram 1 shows the percentage of messages sent using each form of messaging in each of the 4 months. The first part says we have to use diagram 1 to complete the table below to show the percentage of messages sent using email in each of the 4 months. So the percentage of messages sent using email in the 4 months, and this is the table here that we have to use. So if we look at email, each type of messaging is beside the different part of the graph. So for example, Twitter is in all black because it's written beside that. Instant messaging is in grey, email is in white, and then text is the striped. So we're interested in email, anything in white. So we'll just highlight that in yellow for the moment. Okay, so we need to know what percentage of messages are sent by email. So in January, we can see it's 10%. So you can see these little notches here. I'll zoom up here. So we can see there is 1, 2, 3 notches in between, which means this is going to be 65%, this is going to be 70%, and this is going to be 75%. Okay, so we can see that in January it was 10% as given to us because it was between 60 and then 70, so the difference there was 10. If we look at February now, we can see that this notch comes over to 75 and it ends on 80, so that's going to be 5%. Then March starts at 80 and it goes up to the next notch here, which we know the notches go up in 5s, so it's going to go from 80 to 85, which is 5%. And finally then we have April, which starts here at 80% and it goes up to this notch here, which is up 2, so 5 and 5, this is going to be 90%. So then this is 10% of a difference between 80 and 90. So April then is 10%. So they're the percentages of people that use email. Next part then, part B, says diagram 2 shows the trend graph for text over the 4 months. So text is already filled in here in yellow. So that's already shown in our diagram. We have to complete this diagram to show the trend graphs for email, instant message, and Twitter over the 4 months using the data from diagram 1. So diagram 1 is this here. I've just copied and pasted it underneath. So we have to use that data to fill in. So we'll start with email. So we've already have our percentages for email. So January, we know email started off at 10%. So we go to the center of the month and we start there at 10%. February was 5%, so we're moving down to this notch because this is in 5s. And then March was also 5%, so keeping it in the middle in line with whatever was above it. And then finally for April, we know that that was going to be 10%. So that's backup meeting here. And it said to label everything clearly. So we'll just zoom up here and join up the lines. So we'll do a line joining each of these. Obviously you'd use your ruler in the exam. So then this will do it in what color had we picked for email? In pink. So we'll join that all up in pink and then we'll say email. Okay, so next then we will do instant message. So if we look at January, so it goes from 20 to 60%, so that's going to be a 40% gap. So it's going to start at 40%. Then it goes from 25, because this is a 5 notch, to which is this here. This is going to be 75 because it goes up in 5s. So 25 and 75. What's the difference going to be there? It's going to be 50. So it goes up to 50 in February. And then instant message goes from this notch over here. So we'll draw it across. This is going to be 30% and it goes up to this notch here, which is 80, which is going to be 50% again. So 80 minus 50. And then finally April for the messaging, it goes from this notch here, which is 25, and it goes up to 80. So 80 minus 25, what's that going to give us? That's going to give us 55. So we're going to go up 1 here. Okay, and we'll join them up. We said we'd do instant messaging in blue. So we'll join those up. Obviously, again, you'd use your ruler. And then we're saying that's the instant messaging. Finally, then we have Twitter. So Twitter is in black. So here, this is easier to read. So that's going to be 20%. It goes up. We'll just rub out anything we've drawn in to make it a bit easier to see. It goes up to the first notch here. So that's going to be 25%. So it starts at 20. It goes to 25. And then what is it next? It goes up to 30. And then finally Twitter, we're on now, finishes off, if we go across at 25. So it goes down one then to 25. And we said we'd do Twitter in green. So we'll join that up. Again, very importantly, using a ruler. And we have to label them. Said that we to do that too. So we've completed the diagram there and we've labeled each type of messaging.